Hello! Today we're going to be looking at a presentation called Help Has Four Paws, and it depicts the personal experiences people have with service dogs. It's compiled by Tracy Foley. As we go through this presentation, first we will look at the definitions and logistics related to service dogs, and then we'll look at how the stories connect across three themes: medical needs, independence, obstacles, and finally we'll have some concluding thoughts. The first thing we need to discuss is what is a service dog. So there is a clear definition under the ADA. A service dog is defined as a dog that has been individually trained to do work or perform tasks for an individual with a disability. That is the language of the ADA. The task performed by the dog must be directly related to the person's disability. As opposed to an emotional support dog, which the ADA states are dogs that provide comfort just by being with a person. Because they've not been trained to do a specific job or task, they do not qualify as service animals. And this just means they don't have some of the protections that service dogs and owners have in public spaces. The ADA rules for service dogs are that dogs must be trained to perform a task, but they can be trained by the owner. No special certification is required, nor can it be demanded by anyone, and no special vest or tag is required. Dogs can go anywhere with the owners, except when their presence would fundamentally alter the nature of what the business or public space is providing, where it would cause a safety concern, or where it would cause a hygienic concern because the dog is not housebroken. Getting a service dog has lots of steps. According to the ADA website, the ADA does not require that dogs be a specific breed or have particular professional training. According to service dog owners, many of the skills needed, such as detecting low blood sugar, do necessitate professional training. For dogs that require professional training, prospective owners must find an organization to work with that trains dogs for their particular need. They must wait for an available dog, and then they must wait for the training, which can be a year or more. The cost can also add up, and it can be $30,000 or more. So the first way we're going to look at the connections between these stories is that all of these people have medical needs for their service dogs. So Dahlia is a 9-year-old girl who has type 1 diabetes. She was diagnosed about 18 months ago, and she has trouble feeling her high and low blood sugar events, which can lead to dangerous complications or even death. Glucose monitors require proactive use and can be as much as 15 minutes behind. There are dogs that can be trained to detect high and low blood sugar events by scent and warn the owners so action can be taken to correct blood sugar levels. And these dogs can detect the events faster than the glucose monitors. Dahlia is currently waiting for her service dog to be trained. She has a year to go. And this is Dahlia showing off her science fair project about dogs detecting low and high blood sugar using scent. And that is little baby Barkley with her trainer. Next up we have Stacy and Charlie. Stacy is a veteran who suffers from PTSD, deafness in one ear, seizures, and other medical conditions from her service. Charlie alerts Stacy to people approaching from her deaf side to prevent her having a startle response. He calms her during night terrors and gets help if she has a seizure. And this is a picture of Stacy and Charlie. And finally, we have Bethany and Rose. Bethany is a student at Bridgewater State in Massachusetts. She has a ventricular tachycardia, which makes her heart speed up or slow down when it shouldn't. Bethany rescued a puppy named Rose and just happened to notice that Rose was alert to her heart rate changes. Bethany decided to train Rose to be a service dog and first trained her to remind her to take medication, which allowed Rose to meet the definition of a service dog and accompany Bethany into the dorms and all areas of campus. After that, Bethany trained Rose to do a number of tasks. She was up to 26 as of the writing of the article. And this includes alerting Bethany to heart rate changes, getting help when needed, and even touching pressure points on Bethany with her paws to regulate Bethany's heart rate. And these are some pictures of Bethany and Rose. These were provided in the article, which is important to note because Bethany did comment in the article that she finds it rude when people take pictures of her dog, because her dog is her personal medical equipment and she feels that it's a privacy violation. The next thing that connects all of these service dog users is independence. So away from home, they're able to do more things. Bethany is able to live in the dorms because Rose can go with her. Rose has alerted Bethany to imminent fainting and retrieved a store manager when she needed help in a store. Madison, another woman with type 1 diabetes, has been able to get her passport and travel. Barkley will be able to go to school with Dahlia, alerting her so she can visit the school nurse when her sugar is too high or low. And Charlie's presence alerts people that Stacy has medical needs so that they know that she needs help and they don't think that she's just intoxicated if she's stumbling or slurring her words. At home, service dog users also gain some independence. Madison can't feel her blood sugar drops, even though she's an adult, which could result in her lapsing into a coma, even in her sleep. So her service dog makes it possible for her to live on her own. Stacy is able to be home alone as well without her husband because Charlie's able to get help if she has a seizure. And Bethany is able to perform activities of daily living, such as reaching items on high shelves, knowing that Rose will alert her to impending fainting. And finally, the dogs do provide some relief from worry for the family members. With Barkley by Dahlia's side, her mother will not have to rely on others to test Dahlia's blood outside the home. And Stacy's husband is able to leave her home alone knowing that Charlie can help. All of these owners have also faced obstacles in working with their service dogs. Dahlia's family has run countless fundraisers to raise the $30,000 required just to pay for the dog and the training. In addition to that cost and typical vet and care costs you would have for any dog, keeping Barkley will require costly changes to their homeowner's policy and specific insurance for the dog. H is a young boy who has a seizure disorder. His family was unable to raise the funds for a seizure dog. They even looked into the train a rescue program similar to what Bethany did, which is riskier than training a puppy that's actually bred for service, but it was still outside of their means. The training time is also an issue. As mentioned, Dahlia has a year to go waiting for her dog, so that's a whole year that she has to manage her blood sugar on her own or with the help of her family. And Bethany spent hours and hours over the course of 7 months training Rose to do all of her tasks, and the training is ongoing. And finally, they've all encountered issues with other emotional support dogs or fake service dogs or dogs that shouldn't be in spaces they're in. At Bridgewater State, the dorm supervisors and professors are getting frustrated with the number of dogs being brought in as emotional support dogs, which has led to Bethany facing extensive questioning about Rose, which is illegal under the ADA. You can't ask someone to prove their dog is a service dog or why they have a service dog. Rose also was attacked by a poorly trained emotional support dog. And another service dog user, Kim, has had 3 service dogs, all of which were attacked in public by poorly trained dogs who should not have been in the space. And 2 were emotional support dogs, and 1 was just somebody's pet. And I do want to note that emotional support dogs have a valid role for many people, and the negative encounters depicted here are reported as the lived experience of these particular service dog owners. So tying it all together, it's clear that service dogs provide amazing benefits to their owners, but there are many obstacles to owning and using one. Although it would be helpful to be able to differentiate between emotional support dogs and service dogs, it also raises some privacy issues. And there should be insurance funding for dogs. As Bethany stated, her dog is medical equipment. These are the sources that were used to compile this presentation. Thank you for listening.